Good morning. Hope Coach here. What a beautiful morning. There's my happiness there. Sun is shining. And I get the opportunity to give you hope, to talk to you in a time that, well, you're here, so I believe you truly need it. And what I also believe is the message that is going to be given to you today is meant for you today, at this very moment, at this time in your life where things could be looking dark, where you feel like you're at rock bottom. And I've got to tell you, I've been at rock bottom. I've been in darkness, horrible darkness, paralyzing black, and it feels like you can't move. It feels like you will never, ever get off that couch. It feels like you're not going to be able to answer that phone or get out of the car or go into that meeting or go into that room. I still to this day struggle massively to go into shopping centres, to walk into a hardware store, knowing that there's a great possibility I'll know somebody. But I do, and it's still difficult, but I'm living my life, and I'm doing good. So what am I going to talk to you today about? Well, I've got a really busy day. It's awesome. And just a quick update. Very, very recently, 2 days ago, if you're watching this in sequence, I told you that I had an absolute disaster of a week coming up. My dog Sasha, other dog, had died a week earlier, and I'd asked somebody else to look after the scheduling and lead management for my business. And they're a great person, but it just didn't happen for whatever reason, I don't know. And it came to Monday night after having a record week last week, serving people through cleaning. It's brilliant, by the way. Monday night, I opened up the schedule to get ready for the next day, and there were no jobs in the calendar. And I checked the next day, and again and again and again, nothing coming up for the rest of the year. And this was the beginning of January. December the 1st. I thought that something is very wrong. Something is very wrong. So as the anxiety started to flood my body, I thought of the coaching that I'd been through, and I speak about this in that previous episode. David Mellman, the home service business coach, has given me the tools and the strategies to know exactly what to do in that situation. It's literally like being in a car wreck and knowing how to handle when the car starts to slide, when the wheels lose traction. I'm just walking through cobwebs. And if you've had no training, guess what? You're going to head for that pole. You're going to head for that tree. Tony Robbins says, when he was doing his NASCAR training, that whatever he looked at, he would achieve. Whatever he looked at, he would achieve. So if he was looking at the wall as his car slid, guess what? He'd kiss the wall. But if he was looking at where he wanted to go, and that was a clear space, no wall, no posts, just wide open racetrack, then he would achieve that. And so David Mollman, using that same principle, talks about when things are going pear-shaped in your business, don't focus on the shape of the pear. When things are going pear-shaped in your business, don't focus on the shape of the pear. Focus on what you want to achieve. So in this case, I've got 5 employees, 5 people depending on me for work and pay to feed their families, literally. Really, I mean it, literally. And that's a lot of pressure to make sure that happens. So what was I going to focus on? I wasn't going to focus on those employees because that's too much pressure and it's too emotional. But I focused on what I bring to the community, and it's a gift of service. Man, it's transformed my life radically, serving people every day. It's a beautiful thing. Sure, I get paid for it, but it's a beautiful transaction. And it really does it transforms people's lives. The people we serve often are not able to do the jobs that we do. And so they're so thankful and willing to pay. And then the people that Debbie and I employ are refugees from very troubling background where they've been through decades of camp life, living in refugee camps, virtually as prisoners, living off rice and whatever they can grow. And they are truly thankful to live in the country that we live in now. And they bring a beauty to the work that they do, to the people that they're serving, so that to the point that every person we serve will tell me, David, these people are just so lovely, they're so polite, they're so thankful to be here, they will do anything for us. So I reached out to these people and I said, how can we serve you? We've served you previously, how can we serve you again? I put it in my mind that God would honour his promises to us, to you, that he would bless us, that he would fulfill my destiny, that he would grow my business, that he would bring into my life customers that I could never get myself. Really, I trusted God with this very thought. I prayed on it for hours. That, impossible prayers for me to think could be answered. But I truly believe that God in the supernatural can do it with ease. So I'm praying and I'm trusting God that he would fill up the schedule, not just this week, but the next week as well. That he would bring in premium clients that were desperate for great service and the services that we offer. Fast forward just a few hours. A man texts me at 6:01 the following morning. This is only a couple of hours after I stopped praying. It's incredible. And he says, I really need you to come and do a job for me this morning. Sorry, I haven't been in contact with you for 3 weeks. I thought the guy was gone. I thought it was a lost lead. And he's begging me to come and do the work for him. So I said, of course, I can be there as soon as you want. So we meet at 8:30 and I look at this house, and it's the company that Debbie and I want to build our house with. So something's going to happen there. That'll be a future video. And but the thing is, I was using positive affirmations to make a connection with that house. I'd look at their billboards as I drove along, and I said, one day, in my mind, under my breath, one day we will have one of those homes. Suddenly, they're begging me to work for them. Literally. So we get out and we're walking around, and the man's pointing out everything, every detail on this new build. And he then turns to me and says, this is a $3 million plus build. And I could see it was. And by the way, that's not the price of the house that we'll be buying. But I then stopped him. And I said, I've already done a run through in my head of what I believe I can serve you with. And he went, what? And I said, I've been looking at everything while I'm here. I believe that we can, to please a client who has this level of build, we really need to do a gold standard job. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. And it's not just windows. That's why he called me out. It's not just window cleaning that these people are going to need. As I walked around, I noticed the layer of dust on the whole building. We can take care of that for you. It was in a very bushy, foresty area. There were lots of leaves clogging up the gutters. And I said, we can deal with that for you. There's lots of tire marks and dirt around the pool. We can pressure clean that for you. And his mouth is dropping open. He said, when can you do this? And I said, well, I can get my team out here this morning. And his face lit up and he said, how much? Because I hadn't quoted the job yet. And I said, you know how much. You already know how much you're willing to pay. It's a premium job. It's going to require premium cleaning level. But you deep down know already what's good value, what's cheap, and what's expensive. And he said, no, I don't. I said, yeah, because I know that you do, because if I tell you a price, you're going to immediately say yes, or that's more than I thought. And he said, you're absolutely right. And so he gave me a price which was double what I expected. And then he said, if you can get this done, I will give you all of our work from now on. And I just knew that that was God. I knew it. How else could it be anything? Oh, and by the way, that one job has filled up the schedule for the rest of this week into next week. But remember, I asked God to fill up the schedule for beyond that. I then said to him, what are you going to do about the interior cleaning of all the surfaces? And he said, we don't have budget for that, so we're going to do it ourselves. I said, okay, that's a very big tax on your time, isn't it? And he said, yeah, it is, but we just don't have the budget. So I said, in case you get in any trouble, if things pop up that are unexpected, just know that we have cleaners on our team as well. And he said, what do you charge for them? And I told him, and he said, well, that's more than we pay our trades. There's no way we can do that. I said, that's what I charge normally, but that's not how we're talking, is it? We can do the same as what we did with the window cleaning, gutter cleaning, house washing price, and you can tell me what you expect this should cost. And he looked at me again as if, how can I believe that this is real? And he held out his hand as if he wanted to shake my hand. He said, it's probably not going to happen, but I'll ask. So anyway, about 2 hours went past and I get a text from Daniel. The interior cleaner's been approved as well, for the same amount as the window, gutter and house clean. Double in one conversation. That's taking care of my wages for the rest of the year. It's taking care of the schedule for 2 weeks. And the phone rings again. Another builder. David, sorry, I haven't touched base with you for over a month. It's been hectic. Are you able to come and quote that job now? Sure. Came over. Another job booked in for a premium price for a premium house. We don't ever aim to rip people off. We aim to deliver what we think is good value. And that can be a figure that I would never pay myself, but it's a deserving figure. And it means that Debbie and I finally have the means to look after someone like this, to go and stay in a nice hotel, to buy things that we enjoy, and to bless others. We will often give our employees lovely gifts that they couldn't get themselves. In fact, it's coming up to Christmas in 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks time. And every year we give them something substantial that they've spoken to me about during the year that they would like to have. And I put it up here in the memory vault. And suddenly, on the last day of work for the year, there's a delivery of whatever that is that they've discussed with me. And this year, thanks to the blessings of yesterday, that's very achievable. God is great. So I wanted to tell you that update because what I'm talking to you about is what I'm living. It's not made up, it's not theory, it's real. And I felt in that episode where I spoke about expecting great things to come to you, reaching out to previous clients, I felt like I left a little bit unfinished there because you didn't get to see the result. Well, the result is far greater than I could have expected. It's far more amazing, far more wide-reaching, far more impactful than I could have done myself. In fact, I know if I tried to do it myself, it wouldn't have worked. I have tried to rely on my own strength, and it's not enough. So I relied on God. And I'm going to tell you something. If you decide to rely on God, you will see impossible things happen in your life. And do as I do. Don't focus on the shape of the pear when things go wrong. Focus on what it is that you want. Focus on what it is that you know would be a true blessing to you and to others, and give it to God. Ask Him to make it happen. And I really believe it will. I know that's giving you hope. Hope Coach out.